Hey, what's going on? I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV. In this video, I'm going to be discussing two potential trades the Knicks could make to acquire Buddy Hield of the Sacramento Kings. Now, I know you guys are asking, why would the Knicks trade for Buddy Hield? Well, one, Buddy Hield is a shooting guard that'll instantly add offense to the New York Knicks. He'll bring better three-point shooting, and he's also able to make shots off his own dribble. And number two, it appears that Buddy Hield is curving all of his coach's phone calls, and it seems like there's a breakup on the horizon. But before I get into it, if you're into Knicks content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. That way you're notified whenever I drop a new video. So with that being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to come join me in the trade machine, and we're going to see if any of these trades actually, work. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make the first team the New York Knicks, our beloved team. And the second team is going to be, obviously, the Sacramento Kings. So like I said before, this trade, we're going to be targeting Buddy Hield. And if you're an OG subscriber, you know the disdain I have for Julius Randle and the fact that I want him on another team as quickly as possible. So I know this is not going to be too suspenseful, but Julius Randle, he's going to be included in this trade. So boom. Trade to the Kings. And who else are we going to include in this trade, you might ask? We're also going to include Frank Nitti. Yeah, I know Tibbs has been high on Frank. Of course, he may be slotted as the starting point guard. But I personally don't think we're going to be getting much out of Frank Nitti, and it might be better for him to be in a new environment. And if we're going to be able to bring somebody that can actually fill that two-guard role and actually add some shooting and some, offensive creativity or playmaking abilities, then I think that's going to be a plus. So right now, going out, we have Julius Randle and Frank Nitti. And coming back to the Knicks is going to be Buddy Hield, who's going to be the topic of these trades. Oh, look, the screensaver came on. Oh, well, you guys can enjoy that. So Buddy Hield is going to be coming back to the Knicks. And let's see if this trade goes through. The money matches up. We got $25 million going out between Frank Nitti and Julius Randle. And then we got 24.4 coming in, which is Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield will still have another 4 years on his contract. Some of you guys may not like that, but I think Buddy Hield is a young piece that's good for a building or a developing team. He's still young. He's only 27 years old, so he can help now and also in the future. So let's try the trade, see if it goes through. And the trade is a success. And you guys might ask, why would the Kings do a trade like this and give up Buddy Hield? Well, based on the computer said this trade would grant the Kings 6 more wins, and the Knicks would, decrease by 6 wins. And to me, that would make sense. The actual Kings are going to be losing out on Harry Giles. It's not expected for them to retain his services. With this trade, the Sacramento Kings, they can slot Julius Randle as their power forward, and then they can have Bagley as their center if they want to play with a little smaller lineup. And also, because Julius Randle isn't that great defensively, and Marvin Bagley isn't, he's more of an offensive-minded 4 or 5. With Frank Nitti, you have somebody that you can put opposite of De'Aaron Fox, and you got a real defensively sound backcourt between the two, and they're young. So this trade makes sense for the Kings, and to me, it makes plenty of sense for the Knicks as well. We're not losing any draft picks. We're not bringing in that much more salary. We pretty much have the same salary. We're not losing it. We're not losing anything in terms of that. In terms of long term. Well, yeah, we are losing some long term flexibility, but what we'll be able to do this year won't be affected. So that's the first scenario, and the second scenario I think is includes a player that's very underrated, and he kind of, falls or flies under the radar of a lot of people. So this person we're going to include to the trade is Nemanja Bjelica. If you're not familiar, he's a power forward who's more of a stretch 4. He's a very good shooter, and if we would include him in the trade, that's going to be another player that can help spread the floor for both Mitch and RJ. And those two pieces we are very invested in to their, their development for the future. So if we add these two players, we can see the gains on the team, not only from what they're adding, but also how they're going to assist the development of our other key players. So in order to make that happen, we're going to have to give something up. And the person we'd have to give up would be Kevin Knox. I know you guys are going to be upset. Yeah, we just got a coach to work with him, et cetera, et cetera. But, I don't know if Kevin Knox is going to necessarily blossom into a player that's as productive as Bielka. Just because watch when this trade goes through. If you want to know the impact of Bielka, just watch this as I put the trade through. So let's say try trade. Trade is a success. Now remember what happened last time. We made almost the exact same trade. The only people we included were Bielka and Kevin Knox. And look at the switch. The Knicks went from, losing an additional 6 games to winning an additional 6 games. So that's a 12-point swing. And all we did was add Bielka. So that just shows you the amount of value. Well, the computer says, some people like analytics, some people don't. Whatever tickles your boat is, or floats. Is it tickles your fancy, or whatever floats your boat? I can't even get the sayings right. So it all depends on if you decide you want to give up Kevin Knox. But I think this would be a phenomenal trade for the Knicks. Right now, we would have another player we can slide in at power forward, since we're going to lose Julius Randle. And like I said, he's going to stretch the court. He's going to give Mitch room to work. He's also going to give Mitch more opportunities to defensive or offensive rebound. Well, offensive rebound, because Bielka's defender is going to be pulled out of the paint, and it's going to give Mitch more space to work. It'll also give RJ more lanes to, when it comes to driving the ball and cutting to the basket. So I think this trade right here, I would be willing to give up Kevin Knox, knowing that you're going to be getting a shooting guard to pair with RJ and whoever we decide to draft in this draft, whether we go with a point guard at 8, or if we go with a point guard later on in the draft. So you let me know what you guys think. Do you like this idea? Let me know down in the comments. All right. Once again, I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.